Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. And as always, we want to thank our Patreons for your support over there. We invite everybody to come join us over on Patreon. Every video goes up on Patreon. Of course, we have the 3 YouTube channels. Evolutionary is the original. Hearts OMMM is the newest. And in the middle is this one, the EEARTS. You know, here you go. There's another plane crash. We have Southern Airways Express flight crash lands on London County Parkway. It's a Cessna 208B, reached an altitude of over 800 feet before beginning an emergency landing. This is in Virginia. Well, they did a good job. And, you know, what's up with all the planes lately? There's a lot of things going on, and we have a lot of opinions.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. We do have our opinions, but, you know, most importantly is like this seems to be increasing, these issues with the planes.
It does, you know, and every time we see an issue, I first think about the health of the airplane pilot. I think about the health of anybody that's a mechanic or anybody that's working on the plane, inspecting the plane. You know, there's a lot of people that are having a lot of health problems suddenly, if you know what I mean there. This is in Chile, and, you know, this was a fatal crash on the highway. It fell on Route 5 South, the country's main land route. Chile, in case you don't know, is a really, really long, thin country. And this, you know, I guess our equivalent would be 5 over on California or 95 over, you know, on the East Coast. The pilot did lose his life. You just got to wonder what's going on out there. There was a plane crash that Dr. Carrie Madej survived a few months after this interview. And she was talking about, well, you know, that big question. The thing that we were talking about, a lot of people having regrets, and about, unfortunately, most, the greater portion of the world got. Of course, you know, not all are created equally. I was going to go down a different rabbit hole, but we're going to wait for our next Patreon's own video so we don't lose YouTube channels. Over here, now, this hits me as very interesting and curious. 68 quakes here. This is up in Alaska, by the way. Alaska gets a lot of quakes. Oh yeah, it's one of the most active places on the planet, as you can see. But when you're looking at it from above here, it almost gives you the appearance like, wow, there must be an 8.0 up there. Well, no. The biggest quake here is they're saying it's a 5.3. But you got a lot of quakes in this area, a lot of quakes. There's quite a bit of swarming going on. And when you look at it, they're pretty shallow for the most part. Pretty shallow. I've shared with you guys before, I got the feeling 2024 is going to be the year of big quakes. I just really do feel 2024 will see really major earthquakes. And the first major earthquake that would affect our country, the United States over here, I do think would be Cascadia, as I've shared with you guys before. And what would I look to see before Cascadia had a big one? Well, I would look for activity in Alaska, absolutely. Kamchatka, which is over here, and Japan. And of course, we did have that 7.6, I believe they were calling it, finally. Over in Japan, we've had interesting Japanese quake activity for sure. But, yeah, there might be something much bigger coming, much bigger. And I know a lot of you guys have gotten the same sort of messages and the same feelings. So, you know, seeing something like this going, while in and of itself, you know, 60, 70 quakes swarm, yeah, they could come and go. And again, nothing bigger than 5.3. Is there something really big brewing in Alaska right now? And would that be something that could possibly trigger Cascadia and then down the line San Andreas and ultimately the New Madrid? don't forget that there's an X on the New Madrid. And that X is well, it's actually an A. No, I should correct myself. It is an X on the New Madrid. The first quake, again, back in 2007. And then the second one, which is now less than 3 months away. Just less than 3 months away. The X marks the spot right in the dead center of the country. As far as, it's right over the New Madrid zone. And then we have, of course, that comet coming, the one with the devil's horns that's coming from Draco. And that will be visible during the eclipse. Again, it feels telegraphed. Watching activity too, there's nothing that's exceedingly worrisome or anything up around this area. Again, heading over towards Yellowstone and all. We did have a 3.3 off the coast of Ferndale, California. Been watching activity in California as well. Looking over here, this just hit me as just a little bit strange and curious, as you have 3 quakes in a perfect line. 4.5, 4.2, and 4.8. Now, the Azerbaijan quake is 50 kilometers deep. This one's 10 in Turkey, and this one's 10 in Greece. Just something to note. And it's not just the U.S. or the U.K. that has been having all these unusual fires and train derailments. It's a shopping complex in Chelyabinsk, and this is in Russia. Again, it's all of humanity that's affected by the changes going on at this point in time. 2 more U.S. aircraft carriers are underway in the Atlantic. The USS Harry S. Truman began sea trials today after 12-month modernization, and they say it's deploying mid-2024. We will see. USS George Washington left Sunday preparing for a 2024 Pacific deployment. 10 of 11 of the U.S.'s aircraft carriers are active at the moment. Over here, let's just listen to what they're talking about at the as if you forgot or maybe you didn't notice, they're having meetings in Davos, and all sorts of people are there.
Why? Because in order to open an account, you need to have an ID. Right. And I have to say that when I started this job, there were actually very little countries in Africa or Latin America that had one ubiquitous type of ID, and certainly that it was digital, and certainly that it was biometric. And we really worked with all our partners to actually help that being, to grow this. And the interesting part of it is that, yes, it is very necessary for financial services, but not only. It's also good for school enrollment. It's also good for health, who actually got a vaccination or not. It's very good to actually to get your subsidies, from the government. So this has not only effect to the financial services. It's a very important issue.
Yeah. I mean, it's all right there. You simply cannot make it up. Everything is just right there in front of us. And again, your financial subsidies from the government, your support from Big Brother, doesn't matter what country you're in. You can't make all this up. So you gotta definitely give somebody a hug today. Share the love. Spread that love. We know there's a lot of darkness in this world. There's definitely a lot of Dr. Evils running around out there. And even, some that look just like Dr. Evil. In fact, you can't make that up. Oh, but you can definitely support each other through these times, and that's what we need to do.
Definitely hug your kitties and puppies and everybody.
Or your otters, if that's what you
That's what you have. Yes. Mm-hmm.
As always, guys, much love. Look forward to your comments. Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.